Thank you. Well, this won't take too long, and this really works out well because a lot of students who don't necessarily follow the lead of people who may be teaching them, et cetera, but they do listen to people who maybe they consider to be their peers, right? They go, oh, that's how she did it. We have a lot of commonalities and the similar characteristics, that type of thing, overcoming same obstacles. It's always good to hear, and it does work. I've done a number of these, and a lot of students come back and say, oh, that's how he or she or whomever did it. So thank you for doing this. Take about 15 minutes. So first, for the audience that's going to get this recording, just a brief tell us who you are, what you've done, how far along you've come, all that side of Let's call it a brief bio.
Okay, my name is Sara. I am working towards my bachelor's in criminal justice with a concentration in criminology. I am, I believe, 2.5 years in. I have a year and a half left, and I'm planning on rolling right into my master's from there.
Wow, very good. So you have a short and a long-term plan.
Yes.
All right, so how did you come up with that plan?
It's really been a day-by-day thing. I decided to go back to school one day and just took the jump and did it. And then over time, I just want to continue my education. I just want to keep going.
So it sounds like you didn't overthink it. You just jumped right into the deep end.
I did.
Probably the
Yeah.
quickest way to learn how to swim, right?
Yep.
Excellent. All right, so what are your career aspirations? Let me ask you that.
I would like to be doing something with criminology or criminal psychology. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do yet. I have looked at also some victim advocacy work and things of that nature. Ultimately, I want to be a criminal psychologist and write about the cases that I work. I love to write as well.
Well, very good. Oh, writing. So you like to write. Let
I
me
do.
ask you this. Do you think that, in your own opinion, that criminal justice unto itself is a pretty writing intensive discipline, is it not?
It is, yeah. When I first started my student, I guess it would be your instructor. She told me that it would be the most writing intensive course, and I was excited about that.
Okay, so I pulled no punches, and we
Yep.
always try to tell everybody. I go to the mats on this. It is probably the most writing intensive discipline because we can never be misunderstood,
Yep.
especially if we have to raise our right hand and tell the truth. Blah blah blah. So let me ask you this: support system. You're in school. I'm sure you have a lot of other obligations, et cetera. Who do you count on when you say, I can't go here and I can't go there? I've got to do this.
I guess I'm very close with my father. I have a support system at work. I have a few friends, and I also have a therapist as well who I am very close with.
So you have multiple people at the ready to help you.
Yes.
And no one's giving you a hard time when they say, why can't you come out with us this Friday night? And we say,
Oh,
well, no, I
no.
have some.
I cancel plans all the time.
Well, good. Those are true friends if they're not going to do that to you. So each week you come up to your courses, and the courses go by quickly, but it does take a lot of time. You've got to read and all that sort of thing, get into the library, whatever. So how do you plan your week? What would you recommend to other students? What do you do that works well for you?
I always try to start with the discussion post first. The discussion board posts, they're due by Thursday. So I really focus on that. First, I do the readings, then I do my discussion post. I read what my other classmates are writing, and then I'll usually work on the final assignment from Thursday to Sunday.
Well, I think I heard read 3 times.
Yes.
Which is great. I want to pat you on the back for that. So let me ask you this. Reading, especially when it's sustained reading, not just a paragraph or a clip or a quote from Wikipedia. I mean, how do you maintain focus long enough to do the necessary level or a volume of reading? How do you do that?
I tend to take notes. Sometimes I'll read and take a break and come back to it, but I definitely take a lot of notes. I have a notebook for each course or subject that I do, and
So it gives you that visual kind of kinesthetic approach. Oh yeah, I do this. I do the same thing. I am
yeah.
lost without a pen and paper. I make lists all day long. Because what, don't you have an e-calendar? I go, yeah, but I don't rely on that because the thing crashes half the time.
Yep.
But you're right. You make a list of those things. So research, right? Going into the library. What's your plan? How do you strategize? How do you make your research most effective for you so you don't get bogged down with it?
In the beginning, I was kind of intimidated by using the library because it was just so much, but I try to keep
Right.
my search terms simple and direct and to the point of what I'm looking for. and then I'll usually look for just accredited sources and, just look at multiple articles and choose what I feel is best for the work.
Now, APA seems to be a stumbling block for all of us. They change it all the time, et cetera.
Yep.
So you must be pretty good at it. I was basically comfortable with it. All right, am I right?
I have been getting better at it. Yes, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. What would you recommend to the people or the students listening to this to tackle the APA monster?
They have a lot of tutorials online. You can always look up if you're having difficulties. I do that. And I also just reach out to my teacher if I have any questions. You can always just ask the instructor first before submitting an assignment and getting it incorrect.
Very good. So you rely on your instructors. That leads me to my next question, especially as the dean around here, that I'm very concerned about instructors and what they do right in order to help people like you succeed. So what do instructors do that you consider to be helpful for you? I mean, what do you look for in an instructor?
Well, the one instructor that I had who had reached out to you originally, he was very good when he would make video recordings about my assignments, and I've never had an instructor do that, and that was very helpful. It just seemed to be very just intuitive, and he was on the ball, and every instructor I've had always answers me within 24 hours when I respond by email or I reach out with a question. And I just like when they're involved, because it's so weird online when you can't be face to face. So
right. So what do you mean by just give us some details? What does it mean for an instructor to be involved to help you? What does that mean?
Interacting one-on-one by email or call, responding to your discussion posts directly, not just reading them. And grading assignments detailed, like writing detailed descriptions of why they are grading it that way, instead of just being like, this is a good assignment, this is a bad assignment. I enjoy when they go into detail.
And you mentioned that they use video feedback for they use video for feedback for your submissions. You like that, right?
I did like that. That was very, it felt like they did that. The instructor cared enough to take that time and break down my assignment.
So that's a great point. They cared enough to show you the attention and then validate your thinking, all those things. So you really feel like you're involved and integrated in the classroom. That's tremendous. Thank you for sharing that. That's very, very important. Instructors, I want you to hear what you have to say. Thank you very much. Thank you. So what advice would you give students relative to, say, obstacles that happen? Life does happen, and this is not always a priority for everybody. For some people, it can be. I mean, what's your strategy? What do you do when, say, something comes up and, oh my gosh, I just lost Monday and Tuesday to work or something? How do you overcome that?
I just try to just strategize my time correctly. Things do come up, but I have the week to finish my work, and if I feel like I'm going to be busy on one day, I just plan to do it the next day, or just breaking it down, doing a little work every day until it's finished instead of just overloading it all in one night.
Right.
And sometimes you have to just, like, I do a lot of my work at home on my computer, but sometimes I have to just get away and go to a library and sit on the computer and do my schoolwork, just getting away from the distractions. I'm also fortunate enough to be able to do my schoolwork sometimes at work, so that also is helpful.
That's a plus. Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of the classes or the curriculum itself, what do you consider to be a good, healthy, robust course that appeals to you as opposed to whatever things that you look for in a course? And this is basically a design question. What do you look for in that thing in activities?
I just multiple assignments. I like to do written assignments a lot. The discussion posts are great. I've had a few classes where my last course, my psychopaths and sociopaths course, this was the first course where we used one discussion board for the entire course. That was interesting. It was cool to do something new. You know, I'm always willing to learn something new and try it out. So that was fun.
Okay, good. So it flowed nicely for you and whatnot. I like the fact you pointed that out because it's something we're really trying to pilot. It is kind of taking some of the risk and the fury out of discussion boards when they have to be graded all the time, but you get a chance to be more fluid and keep the conversation going. Absolutely. So let me ask you this. If you had to give some world-renowned sound advice, if you were an advisor advising a student and this is their first day, what would you tell them?
Ooh, that's a good question. Don't give up. Keep trying your hardest, even when you feel like you're burned down. Just keep trying, and also that it goes by quicker than you think.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? 8 weeks is a shot like that.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're really on your way. I know that I came across your name because one of your instructors nominated you for kudos for doing great work, grit, perseverance, determination. It's not always about a grade. It really is about passion that drives it. And that's what I'm getting out of you, that you just driven and you take no, you don't take no for an answer. You just keep going. But I want to thank you for all the great things you pointed out. I'm glad because again, this is going to go to faculty, but also to students so they can hear what you've done and identify with some of those great traits, characteristics, and plans you have. So with that said, I'll give you the rest of your day back. I want to thank you so much, Sarah, for taking the time out on a Saturday afternoon to do this. This is very special. I've done a few of these with students like yourself, and they do work really, really well. So I want to thank you for allowing me to record it and distribute it. And you know where to get a hold of me, us, the whole team. We have your back from here on out. We have a cradle to grave mentality anyway. So just know that we have you. So whenever you have any questions about career paths or anything like that, make sure you plug in with us so we can get you networked out there. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
No. This is a pleasure. And thank you for taking the time. Have a great rest of your weekend, Sarah,
You
and keep
too.
on trucking. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.